which is Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I want to share my first trimester because I am well into my second trimester. I am currently 18 weeks and some days. So I already filmed my 18-week update and I'm like, oh wait, I have to film my first trimester because you're gonna want to know how I'm doing, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If you are new here, please go ahead and consider subscribing to my channel. This is a brand new journey for me. I have never been pregnant with twins before. Twins don't run in my family. Twins do run in Babe's family, but wasn't expecting me to get pregnant with twins. So this is a brand new journey. I have a lot to learn, I'm sure. And this is just gonna be, it's gonna be complete chaos. That's what this is gonna be. But anyway, yeah, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you are notified every time I upload, because clearly my schedule is not like Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or even Monday and Thursday like I was doing. It's whenever I can get a chance. There's a lot going on, you guys will see in these next couple of videos, pregnancy wise anyway. Actually, my whole entire life, there's just a lot going on. So let's go ahead and get started with the first trimester. So as you guys saw, I found out on December 16th that I was pregnant. Had no idea at that time it was twins, but if you watch that video, you will hear me say when I found out, when I saw the stick, I say, wow, the line's so dark. Well, apparently, when you're having twins, your HCG level is like doubled, quadrupled, tripled, like your numbers are skyrocketed, which makes that line, the test line, darker sometimes, or even the same color as the control line. And as you, I'm gonna put it on the screen somewhere, you guys will see that it was darker. I think it was darker, like it was so dark. It wasn't a faint line, it was like bam, yes, you are pregnant. So that's actually, that's a clue that you could be having twins. I have, let's see, so going off of my last period, my due date is August 21st, 2020. And when I went to the doctor, they have kept that date. So currently that is still my due date. I feel like I probably should have known a little bit. Like, I honestly, when I found out I was pregnant, I didn't think I was pregnant. Just because we had been trying and I wasn't getting pregnant, and I just figured God was like, girl, you've got more than what you can handle. You're good with 4. I know you want this, but you know, you're good. That's what I thought he was saying and what was gonna happen when I picked up the test. But he laughed. He had other plans. So prior to taking that test, I was taking naps. I was super tired, but my sleep schedule has been off. It's always off. Like, I'll have like a couple of months where I'm sleeping well, and then it goes to shit. So I just figured I'm tossing and turning all night, and that's why I was tired and actually falling asleep. If you knew me, for the life of me, I cannot take naps. Like, I try sometimes. If I'm that tired, I try to take naps and they just never happen. So the fact that I kept falling asleep should have been a sign, but like I said, I haven't been sleeping well, so you know. And then also, before finding out, we live on the 3rd floor. I want to say the beginning of December, towards the end of November, going up the steps, it killed me. I think it was like twice I had to take my asthma pump because I do have asthma. It's well under control, but there were 2 times where I was going up the steps and I'm like so winded and I couldn't catch my breath, and I ended up taking my rescue inhaler 2 different times. So that kind of, looking back, that was definitely a sign that I was pregnant. I was feeling nauseous, but I have bad eating habits. So sometimes it was like, well, no, not sometimes. Whenever I got nauseous, I'm just like, all right, girl, you need to eat. You haven't eaten all day. Duh, that's why you're nauseous. So I just put 2 and 2 together as that was the reason why I was nauseous, because in the past, when I get on my bad eating habits, that's what happens. I get nauseous. If I don't eat all day, you get nauseous. So yeah, and then I also was getting dizzy. Again, I have syncope in the past. Haven't had an episode in quite some time, but I did start feeling dizzy. And because I had like a really bad year of syncope, I am able to kind of tell if I'm about to pass out. If you didn't know, syncope is, you faint, you pass out. I forget the word. I think it was like vagal syncope or something like that I was diagnosed with. And just, for some strange reason, my blood pressure drops and my heart rate goes up. If it's not that way, it's the other way. I can't remember. Like I said, I haven't had any episodes, but I did start getting dizzy to where I had to sit down, not really thinking, oh, I'm gonna pass out, but like, let me sit down before this gets any worse, because a lot of the times I am here with the kids by myself. So, never can be too careful. So that was another sign. I had an increase in vaginal discharge. It was clear, nothing to worry about. And yeah, I think that happens to me when I'm about to get my period too. So that wouldn't have led me to believe like, oh shit, I'm pregnant. Plus we were trying, so it wouldn't have been oh shit, but you guys know what I mean. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was about 4 weeks pregnant. At 6 weeks, I had my first appointment. 6 weeks, 3 days, and that is when my life changed. Everything changed that day. Ariyanna, by the time I found out I was pregnant, no, I knew I was pregnant. She left like the week later, but I never told her officially. Like, okay, so we played it, okay. So in December sometime, Ariyanna made a comment about not wanting any more siblings, and the way she was saying it, attitude-y and like, oh my God, I want it, like she does all the work or something, or she's left with the kids and she has to babysit and all this. First, no, we don't leave Ariyanna with our kids. She's special. I think I said I was pregnant and he was like, yeah, and it's twins. And so we never told her, like, we told her I was pregnant, but at the time I didn't know I was pregnant. We were just kidding around because she was being a brat, okay? She was being a spoiled brat. Ariyanna sometimes thinks that she's the only child. She was the only child for 7.5 years, so I mean, I can't really blame the girl. But it's like, girl, you done got 3 more siblings on my side, and she's got 2 other siblings on her father's side. So you got 5 other siblings. Like, get it together, girl. You're not the only child anymore. And that's how she acts sometimes. So we said that to her and just totally forgot to tell her, oh no, I'm not pregnant. Then I found out I was pregnant, so then I was like, oh well, I don't need to tell her I'm not pregnant. But we forgot to tell her, okay, it's not twins. Like, she went to New York, told her father probably, and I know she told her stepmom, because her stepmom congratulated me, and I'm like, no, I'm not having twins. I was just kidding with her. On December 28th, I had the appointment. Me, babe, and the kids go. The place looked a little sketchy. it was a little sketchy, and I was like, you know what, babe, you should probably stay in the car with the kids, because I didn't want the kids to come inside. And then I go inside for my appointment. So I've never been to the doctor this early before. So I have the appointment, they take my blood, confirm the pregnancy, then they go take me to the exam room. I know that I'm probably gonna have a pap smear, and that's what I was just thinking of, that they're just gonna do a pap smear. Well, they told me to undress and that they were gonna do an internal sono, where they insert the thing inside of you. Never had that done before. So that was fun. I didn't know what I was looking at on the screen. Honestly, I didn't see anything because she had the screen. So I'm laid back this way and she was in front of me and the screen was tilted towards her. But she was quiet, and I was just, at one point I was just like, is everything okay? She's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. Then that was a sonogram tech. So then the doctor walks in, and the sono tech, the doctor introduces herself, we say hi. She sits down, starts going over my medical history, and the sono tech says a word to her. I don't remember what the word was. I wish I could, but it was like a code word. And so the doctor was like, oh, okay. And I wasn't really paying too much attention to it, but then like I started to, and I'm like, is everything okay? She's like, nope, it's fine, everything's fine. And then the doctor goes, so do twins run in your family? And I'm like, no, they run in my husband's family. I'm like, oh, okay. So she turns, the doctor walks over and she turns the screen and she's like, so you're having twins. I just start saying, oh my God, so loud, 50 million times. And she shows me the 2 sacs, and they're like, okay, she's in shock. So at one point I start crying, and the next thing you know, I'm laughing, and they're really confused, and they're just like, oh, she's like really in shock. Like they start asking me like, is there anyone here with you? I told them, you know, what we did to Ariyanna, and they were like, well, girl, you done spoke it into your existence because you are having twins. So I call him in and tell him to come to come inside right now. And he comes inside, he's all freaking out. Poor thing. He was so freaking out. He's holding the baby. I can already tell, like, he's getting emotional. And the nurse was, and the sonogram, the doctor was like, oh, she turns the screen and she's like, do you see anything? And he's looking at it for a couple of seconds, like some long seconds, and he's just like, there's no fucking way. Like, there is no effing way. Kids were there, like, they were like, what the hell's going on? Like, why are they so loud? And yeah, that's how we found out that they were twins, and we just was like, oh my God. So I think the rest of that day I was definitely just in shock, taking it in, sort of. After that week, all hell broke loose. Let's just put that out there. I started feeling nauseous like never before. I started full-blown throwing up. So I know I let a couple of days go by, and then I asked for medication. They gave me the medication didn't work. Tried giving me other medication. That medication didn't work. I went to hospitals. I went to 2 different hospitals in a matter of 3 different times. Then I got the flu, diagnosed with HG, which is hyperemesis gravidarum, I believe it is how you pronounce it, HG. Not gonna go too much in depth with that because I'm gonna do a separate video, but I got diagnosed with that, and nothing really helped with that. So yeah, since the very beginning, I craved fruits. From the very beginning. I'm talking about strawberries, blueberries, oranges, mangoes, watermelon, pineapple, peaches, apples, applesauce. Is that considered a fruit? I know I was eating a lot of applesauce. At one point, that was all I can hold down. Just all the fruits, grapes, all of the fruits. I'm not mad about it. Not mad at all. It is getting a little expensive because I do find myself eating it. Well, no. I mean, now I'm eating it, but before, even when I was craving it, I couldn't eat it because it just came right back up. It was really hard for me to keep down water, to drink water. So once I wasn't keeping down water, I switched to Gatorade. It worked for like a day or two, and then I wasn't able to keep down the Gatorade, and then I switched to ginger ale. And for like a week, I was able to just drink ginger ale without throwing it up. But then after the week, that went away. I went back to trying Gatorade. They told me to put the Gatorade in the freezer and drink it like a slushie, let it get like nice and icy and slushy. It was good, the Gatorade, when it was like that, but it didn't work. I still threw it up, and then I started throwing up the ginger ale. I went to apple juice. I noticed in the beginning that anything with added sugar I couldn't have. Like after the whole ginger ale thing, the next week when I tried to drink the ginger ale, it didn't work. The Gatorade, anything with added sugar. I think I was drinking apple juice after that, and it had to be 100% apple juice. And there was another juice that was 100% juice. I think it was like one of the juicy juices, and it didn't have too much added sugar. Honestly, don't Google pregnancy symptoms and stuff because you come up with all sorts of stuff. But I thought I was going to have diabetes, gestational diabetes. I mean, I haven't tested for it yet, so I mean, there's still a possibility. But I was reading that in the beginning, if you cannot hold on, like if that was a sign of gestational diabetes, and which also happens to be at a higher risk in a twin pregnancy. So everything is just at a higher risk, which is why I am seeing doctors and not midwives, and this pregnancy is considered high risk. And I don't think I said this, but I am having fraternal twins. They are in 2 separate sacs and have 2 separate placentas, which I was told that this was the best possible twin pregnancy to have. It's still high risk, but on the lower end. So that's good, right? Like, I mean, I'm happy about that because let me just tell you, when you find out you're pregnant with twins, if you don't know anything about twins or don't have any family members with twins, like I said, on my side, I just didn't know anything. So I was scared. I was really scared. I started freaking out super early, anxiety super early, especially once you start reading into it, thinking about C-sections, diabetes, all this stuff that can go wrong, you can't help. So it was really rough thinking about all that. I feel like I started feeling flutters like around 11, 12, 13 weeks, but I was unsure at the time because I'm starving, but I can't eat. I'm gassy, which I don't know why I was gassy, and I'm throwing up all the time. So, what could be this? My stomach is empty, So there were times where I was like, okay, was that a flutter or was that just my empty stomach, I'm 97% sure it was flutters. I want to say after 13 weeks, I definitely felt the flutters. And yeah, that is pretty much the brink of my first trimester, because after I got diagnosed, before I got diagnosed with that, they did call me back and they told me I had a UTI. I am prone to yeast infections during pregnancy. I didn't have any type of symptoms when it came to the UTI, so they did put me on antibiotics for that, and the antibiotics worked because UTI went away. But I just found it weird that I didn't have any symptoms. From about 10 to 15 weeks, horrible. That's when I lost all the weight, in and out of the hospital, IVs. They finally came up with a solution. Again, I'll go more into depth on that on my HG video. So stay tuned for that. I'm trying to think of if did I have any other symptoms or anything. I physically feel like I don't know, 30 weeks pregnant. I'm so tired. Like, I feel heavy. I feel like I'm carrying all this weight, and it's so crazy. I don't know how many weeks I am, but I don't even feel like looking. I feel exhausted already, and it scares me because if I'm like this now, how am I gonna be when I am 30 weeks, when I'm 32 weeks? Like, you know, it's so crazy to me. So yeah, that's pretty much it, because from here on in, I can just give you my week to week update. I'm gonna be showing you them probably more frequent than you want, just so that I can catch up, because although I have all these videos filmed, I still have to edit them, and we're moving, so I don't even know when that's going to be happening. So yeah, other than that, things are going better. You know, I can feel the excitement more. I'm able to enjoy the fact that I'm having twins, although it's scary and chaotic and scary and nerve-wracking and overwhelming, because we were trying for baby number 5. That's it, just one more. And now we have baby 5 and 6. So it's crazy to think that I'm gonna be a mom to 6 kids. Never in a million years would I have thought that I would have 6 kids. And you're probably like, okay, but you're having 5. Like, what's the difference? What's one more kid? It's one more kid. Like, what do you mean, what's the difference? Like, I get that we're outnumbered already because we have 4, and then we were just having one more, 5, but it's 6, like, you know? And I've always been the type that wanted a big family. I never just wanted 1 or 2 kids. I never just wanted a boy and a girl, and that was it. No, that wasn't me. For the longest, I wanted 3, and then it was like, well, if I get 2 boys and 2 girls, then that would be perfect. And if I would have gotten 2 boys and 2 girls, I would have stopped. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't in my plan, and I think I'm okay with that. I'll let you know. I'm gonna have to be, because ain't nothing changing. But yeah, I hope you're ready to go on this roller coaster of a ride with me, because I already know it's going to be a roller coaster. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.